have to send a warrant to get Big U's DNA. You want to take a wild guess whose DNA came back on his son? Big U, Eugene Henley's DNA, came back on her son's fingernails.
Big U's son, Dion Henley, has stepped forward with revelations that may reshape public understanding of his father's legacy. For years, the Henley family remained silent as Big U rose in power across Los Angeles, juggling nonprofit efforts with a controversial street presence. Now with federal charges involving fraud, murder, and potential links to Nipsey Hussle's death, that silence has broken. The situation intensified when Eugene Big U Henley Jr., long considered one of South Central's most connected figures, was taken into federal custody on major criminal allegations. This legal storm has spread rapidly, placing immense pressure on those closest to him, including his professional athlete son, who now finds himself thrust into national headlines. Big U's legacy has always walked a dual path.
That's a police report, homie, where Black Sam had to pull a pistol out on Big U before Nip got killed.
On one side, he co-founded Developing Options, a nonprofit aimed at helping youth in underserved communities, and supported careers in hip-hop, including that of Nipsey Hustle. On the other, authorities allege that he operated for years as a top figure in the Rollin' 60s neighborhood Crips. The Rollin' 60s are among the largest and most feared gangs in Los Angeles, estimated at over 1,600 members. Founded in 1976, the crew evolved from Stanley Tookie Williams' West Side Crips. Their brutal reputation is underscored by their own code, "You ain't a rollin' 60 till you kill a 60." Historic incidents like the 1984 slaying of Kermit Alexander's family and the 1988 death of Karen Toshima marked their name in violent street history. For years, Big U maintained a dual persona, publicly known as a reformed community leader, featured in documentaries and podcasts, while privately operating, according to law enforcement, as a gang leader orchestrating criminal activity beneath the surface. His reform image was widely promoted, but authorities now claim it was a carefully constructed facade. In March 2025, that image collapsed. Federal agents arrested Big U along with 18 alleged members and associates of the Rollin' 60s neighborhood Crips.
Nipsey meant a lot to me, this community, to a lot of people far. You know how much Nipsey has played a role in a lot of people's lives just with the inspiration he provided through his music. Me, I knew Nipsey since I was EA high. My dad was actually his first manager. While I was in the backyard doing football drills, Nipsey was downstairs making music.
The Department of Justice issued a sweeping federal complaint naming Big U as the alleged head of a criminal enterprise responsible for racketeering, fraud, and violent acts. This case wasn't minor. By late March, Big U faced a 43-count indictment, including RICO violations, homicide, kidnapping, robbery, extortion, wire fraud, embezzlement, human trafficking, and firearms offenses. Acting U.S. Attorney Joseph McNally made it clear the indictment accused Henley of leading a broad criminal enterprise with severe consequences. Among the most shocking claims was the alleged involvement in the murder of Rayshawn Williams, a rising rapper signed to Big U's U&E music label. Williams was found dead in Las Vegas in 2021, and prosecutors now allege his killing was a targeted hit tied to a diss track. Williams wasn't a stranger. He had connections through high school sports with Big U's family and was seen as an emerging artist with potential. The indictment paints the picture of betrayal within the inner circle, casting doubt on the true nature of Big U's role in both music and mentorship.
Nipsey Hustle got smart and say, nigga, I don't want to pay you $20,000 a month no more, nigga. And Nipsey Hustle come up dead. He lost his protection, and the hood killed him.
Rayshawn Williams was signed to Big U's U&E music label and had reportedly been flown to Las Vegas with travel and lodging funded by the label. According to federal documents, Williams recorded a diss track aimed at Big U, with lyrics that ominously foreshadowed violence and betrayal. Prosecutors allege that once Big U became aware of the track, he and co-defendant Sylvester Robinson, also known as Ave, confronted Williams in Las Vegas. What followed as described in the federal complaint, was a calculated hit. Authorities claim Williams was driven to North Las Vegas, shot multiple times in the face with a .38, and left in a roadside ditch near Interstate 15. To cover their tracks, the indictment states that studio personnel were warned into silence and security footage was erased. Williams's body was later discovered near a Nevada landfill, northeast of the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. A medical examiner confirmed his identity and ruled the cause of death as homicide by gunshot.
The little homies ain't looking at Big U, they looking at Nip, cuz. When Nip pull up in that Rolls Royce and that platinum Jag, looking with all that chain on, yeah, Nip was getting bigger than the set, cuz. And don't nobody get bigger than the set is what I was told. So they killed that nigga.
Following the killing, social media erupted with calls for Big U to speak out. His silence only fueled suspicion. Williams's mother publicly accused Big U of being responsible and expressed a strong desire for full justice through the legal system. Adding to the case's intensity, federal authorities claim Big U initially refused to provide a DNA sample, prompting them to secure a warrant. A widely circulated video online alleges that Big U's DNA was recovered from beneath Williams' fingernails, possibly pointing to a physical altercation before the shooting occurred. The murder allegations aren't the only serious charges Big U is facing. Federal prosecutors allege he ran a mafia-style criminal enterprise from 2010 to March 2025, using gang ties and influence to pressure businesses, pro athletes, and artists into paying for protection. This so-called Big U enterprise, as defined in the indictment, was not just about street power. It allegedly involved coordinated financial crimes. Authorities claim Big U submitted fraudulent paperwork for a COVID-19 relief loan, inflating Yoon Music's 2019 earnings to $200,000 despite records showing a $5,000 loss, an amount that would have made him ineligible.
Equipment out of the studio and wasn't paying that $20,000 to Big U no more. Nigga, everybody know that.
Federal charges also accuse him of misappropriating charitable donations through Developing Options, a nonprofit receiving funds from the city of Los Angeles via the GRYD Foundation, along with private donations from major figures in sports. Prosecutors allege this organization was used as a front, allowing Big U to maintain his image as a reformed community leader while running illegal operations behind the scenes. The indictment paints a damning picture, one where philanthropic work and music ventures doubled as layers of protection and manipulation, expanding his control and influence throughout Los Angeles. Authorities say he used reputation, intimidation, and fear to secure dominance in both public and private sectors. After his arrest, Big U appeared in court in shackles and was ordered held in federal custody until a detention hearing scheduled for March 31st, 2025. On April 8, 2025, he pleaded not guilty to all charges in a Los Angeles courtroom. His trial is set to begin on May 20th, 2025. Before surrendering, Big U released several videos denying all accusations, calling them racially biased and driven by personal vendettas. In one video statement, Big U described his situation as the cost of trying to uplift the community, saying, "This is the price of being black and trying to help somebody." His attorney, John Tarkowski, stressed that Big U maintains his innocence and is preparing a strong legal defense. The charges against Big U are part of a wider federal crackdown on gang-related activity in Los Angeles, known as Operation Drawdown. Alongside Big U, authorities arrested other individuals including Sylvester Vey, Robinson, 59, and Mark Bear Claw Martin, 50, both facing similar federal charges tied to the alleged criminal enterprise. The investigation reportedly began in August 2020 and focused heavily on Big U's alleged operations by the following year. Agencies involved include the FBI, the IRS Criminal Investigation Division, and North Las Vegas Police Department, indicating how seriously federal authorities are treating the case. The trial, scheduled to begin on May 6, 2025, could have broad consequences. Beyond determining the fate of Big U and his co-defendants, it may reshape public trust in gang intervention programs across Los Angeles and raise concerns about the blurred lines between street credibility and civic leadership. If convicted, Big U could face life in prison. Co-defendants like Robinson and Martin face potential sentences of up to 20 years. These developments have ignited debate around how cities vet community leaders and the role of former gang members in public programs aimed at reducing violence. The case has raised urgent questions about how rehabilitation, influence, and criminality can intersect in communities where leadership and loyalty are often hard to separate. Now we reach the most controversial segment of this entire story: the persistent speculation surrounding Big U's relationship with Nipsey Hustle and what some claim might have been connected to Hustle's death. These are unverified allegations and have not been included in any official charges against Big U. Still, the rumors have spread widely across communities and online platforms, warranting a closer look at what's being discussed. Nipsey Hustle, born Ermias Joseph Asghedam, was a highly respected artist and entrepreneur who lost his life on March 31st, 2019, outside his Marathon clothing store in Los Angeles' Hyde Park neighborhood. The shooter, Eric R. Holder Jr., was convicted and sentenced to 60 years to life, with reports citing a personal conflict as the motive. Big U and Nipsey Hustle had a long-standing history. Multiple sources have confirmed that Big U played a key role in launching Nipsey's early career around 2008, functioning in a managerial capacity when Nipsey was just starting to gain momentum in the local scene. This professional relationship is backed by visual evidence, including interviews where Dion Henley, Big U's son, reflects on the connections between their families and early music collaborations. However, the business arrangement between Big U and Nipsey reportedly deteriorated over time. According to street reports and industry chatter, their relationship soured due to a dispute involving equipment located at Big U's facility. Tensions eventually escalated, and Nipsey allegedly responded with a diss track aimed at Big U, a sign that trust had broken down between them. While these rumors remain unconfirmed, they continue to fuel speculation around the true nature of their fallout, adding another layer to an already complicated narrative. Reports claim Big U attempted to have Nipsey held accountable for the diss track, but Nipsey's brother, Black Sam, reportedly intervened, de-escalating the situation. The tension was eventually resolved. Still, ongoing speculation has stirred new concerns, with some alleging Big U may have been connected to Hustle's murder. These claims have gained traction, especially through rapper SKG, a former Death Row Records artist who has spoken out in interviews accusing Big U of instigating violence and terrorizing the Crenshaw community. However, no official documentation supports these statements, and Big U has publicly denied all such involvement. In a 2021 interview on Drink Champs, Big U directly addressed the situation, stating there was no conflict with Hustle and firmly distancing himself from the rumors. He described their relationship as peaceful at the time of Nipsey's death, pushing back against the narrative circulating online. Adding fuel to the controversy is social commentator Charleston White, who has made explosive statements in several videos. He's claimed that Big U and the Rollin' 60s played a role in Hustle's death, even naming them directly in recorded posts. Despite the volume of these claims, they remain unsupported by any legal proceedings or confirmed evidence. The current RICO indictment against Big U includes charges related to other criminal activity, including the murder of Rayshawn Williams, but it does not implicate him in Nipsey Hussle's case. Eric Holder Jr. was arrested, convicted, and sentenced for the murder, and no federal documents or law enforcement statements have connected Big U to the act. Still, the persistent rumors have impacted Big U's reputation and business. In a public video, Big U acknowledged how damaging the speculation has been to his operations and financial standing in the aftermath of Hustle's death. The persistent rumors highlight the blurred lines between hip-hop, gang affiliation, and business in Los Angeles. The entertainment industry's overlap with street culture, often creates environments where personal disputes, financial disagreements, and gang politics dangerously intersect. Regardless of truth, these claims have shaped public perception of Big U. This narrative presents a figure operating across contrasting worlds: street culture, music business, and nonprofit initiatives. In regions where gang influence is deeply rooted, maintaining roles in these spaces can lead to complicated dynamics and conflicts that are difficult to separate or resolve. The speculation surrounding Nipsey Hussle's murder also raises broader questions about power shifts within gang-influenced sectors of the music industry. Fame and influence can upset long-standing structures, and when that happens, it can spark tension. In Hustle's case, some speculate that his rise may have disturbed local balances of power, though no official evidence supports that theory. What remains clear is that Big U's reputation has suffered. Long before the current charges, allegations regarding Hustle's death had already cast a shadow. Combined with the active indictment related to Rayshawn Williams, the picture painted is of someone allegedly using intimidation and violence to maintain influence. Still, in any legal system, speculation does not equate to guilt. Despite the ongoing narratives, no charges have been brought against Big U in connection to Hustle's death. Eric Holder Jr. remains the only person legally held responsible. However, the federal case regarding Williams is actively progressing, and Big U is scheduled to stand trial and present his defense in court. The specific charges against Big U underscore a striking contrast between his public role as a community activist and the accusations painting him as a gang-affiliated figurehead. This tension reflects a broader issue familiar in communities affected by gang violence: the dual image of OGs who shift into outreach work but may still carry remnants of their past. While some former gang members fully transition into positive community leadership, others operate in a gray zone where legitimate platforms mask continued illegal activity. This duality is what makes the Big U case both compelling and concerning. Was he a reformed figure guiding the next generation? Or, as prosecutors allege, someone using nonprofit work and music ventures as fronts for organized crime? As the trial nears, these questions remain unanswered. For the hip-hop community and the youth of South Los Angeles, the situation raises serious concerns. Many looked up to Big U as a symbol of redemption and success beyond street life. These allegations challenge that image, creating disappointment and uncertainty among those who believed in his example. This moment also reflects a deeper reality: how hard true reform is in communities where gang ties run deep and systems of power, money, and reputation are intertwined. The charges force a reevaluation of what genuine change looks like and whether structural issues allow for it. Big U's trial, set for May 20th, 2025, is shaping up to be one of the most significant gang-related court cases in Los Angeles in recent years. Its outcome may affect not just Big U and his co-defendants, but broader narratives around community leadership, re-entry from street life, and the credibility of intervention programs. What happens when a figure celebrated as a symbol of redemption is accused of continuing criminal activity? The allegations against Big U, if proven true, would signal not just legal failure, but a deep betrayal of the very communities he claimed to support. They would reinforce doubts around reform narratives and make it more difficult for genuinely reformed individuals to gain trust and lead meaningful change. Still, it's critical to remember these are allegations, not proven facts. The American justice system is built on the presumption of innocence until proven guilty. Big U's legal team maintains his innocence, and he is preparing to defend himself in court. With the trial set to begin on May 20th, 2025, public attention continues to grow. This case could reshape how gang intervention programs are viewed, not just in Los Angeles, but nationally. Beyond Big U, the outcome may impact how former gang members are trusted as community leaders and how nonprofit work tied to street roots is evaluated. It also underscores the deep ties between gang culture, music, and community outreach. It highlights the difficulty of untangling authentic reform from appearances and the toll it takes on all involved. From the family of Rayshawn Williams to Big U's own relatives now facing scrutiny and fallout. While the court proceedings will determine guilt or innocence, the bigger questions remain. Can the cycle of violence be broken? Can community trust be rebuilt after betrayal? And who, if anyone, is truly equipped to lead that change? Thank you for watching. If this gave you new perspective or sparked questions, hit that like button, subscribe for more content like this, and check out the next video on screen. It goes even deeper.